It's been an eventful year in Hollywood. Here are the top 10 famous celebrities who got arrested this year. Travis Scott was just arrested in the early morning of Friday, August 9th. The arrest was made at the George V Hotel, a 5-star hotel in Paris. According to French police, Scott and his bodyguard got into a fight. Page 6 reports that the fight was about the local paparazzi. Apparently, one somehow got into the trunk of Travis's car. When another security guard attempted to intervene, Scott also turned on him. Sources close to the situation spoke to People, saying that they believe Travis Scott will be released very soon, and there weren't any charges against him at the time. Thankfully, no injuries have been reported as a result of the incident. Details are still emerging about it. A video went viral online around 1 p.m. on Friday of the star being forcibly removed from the hotel in handcuffs. Scott has been in the city to enjoy the Olympics. Prior to the incident, he had been pictured at the basketball semifinal between the US and Serbia. Moving on to the big one of the year though, Justin Timberlake. This is going to ruin the tour. Back in June of this year, the singer was pulled over in the Hamptons for driving while under the influence. The officer that pulled JT over wasn't going to just let him off because he was a big star. In fact, apparently the officer was too young to know who Justin was. So not only did he have to deal with the implications of being famous and under arrest, but also maybe not being that famous after all. Anyway, the authorities at the scene claimed the singer was behaving in an intoxicated manner. He smelled like it, his eyes were glassy, the whole 9 yards. It was also reported that he refused to take a breathalyzer test. His license ended up getting suspended, and Timberlake has pleaded not guilty to the charges. The next most famous legal disaster of the year would have to be everything that went down with Diddy. The once beloved rapper has rightfully lost almost all public favor after multiple people have come forward, accusing the man of acting inappropriately towards them and performing other harmful acts. In March of this year, federal agents received the go-ahead to search Diddy's home. One of the only things we know from that situation was some firearms were found. In May, a video was released online that showed Diddy being a horrible person to his ex Cassie in a hotel. The video is surveillance footage from 2016. The couple was staying in a hotel together. You see Cassie walk down the hallway with some bags. Shortly after, Diddy runs after her in a towel, eventually taking her back to the room using force. Despite all the horrific stories being shared about the man and the surveillance footage showing him doing the bad things, his legal team continues to insist he is innocent. Just a few days ago, rapper Nelly was arrested at a casino early in the morning. AP News reports he was found with illegal substances on him. Details are of course still emerging about this incident, but Nelly's attorney says he is 100% confident this case will go nowhere. Apparently, Nelly won some casino jackpots, but when he went to collect them, the officer supervising ran a search for warrants. There was one to be found, since back in 2018, a judge issued a warrant because Nelly operated a vehicle without proper proof of insurance, and since then, the warrant has been outstanding. It is worth noting though, AP News reports that Nelly did not know about the warrant as he wasn't notified about it. And now, we're in the year 2024, and that warrant resulted in Nelly being arrested in the casino and, according to his attorney, paraded through the casino in front of other customers. As for the illegal substances bit, the attorney called them alleged substances, so that's what we're working with. Nelly's attorney did make quite a few comments about the officer that arrested the rapper, saying he was overzealous and that they will be asking for an inquiry into the officer's conduct. This isn't the first time the rapper has been arrested. Back in 2015, he was arrested in Tennessee, and in 2017, he was arrested in Washington. Arnold Schwarzenegger was briefly detained at a Munich airport back in January. Truly, he wasn't detained long. It was only about 3 hours, but it was still quite the delay. The reason it happened was because there were some tax-related issues. Schwarzenegger was traveling with a valuable watch that he owned. It was his personal property, but he was potentially going to be auctioning off that watch in Austria. The spokesperson for the airport's customs explained that the watch was technically an import and therefore should have been registered. Since it wasn't, their agency initiated criminal tax proceedings under tax law. The whole thing was quite dramatic. According to Bild, the star was heavily questioned about his personal life to the point where he felt the need to call his lawyers and was required to pay a fine of a few thousand euros. The Terminator was 100% ready to tap his card and be off, but then a new problem came up. For some reason, allegedly 50% of custom fees must be paid in cash. Obviously, he didn't have thousands of euros laying around, so an airport employee had to accompany him to a bank. The thrilling saga did result in the actor being released. A source spoke to Page 6 about it and called the event a comedy of errors. Chris Brown added yet another lawsuit to his long lineup of things he shouldn't be proud of. The lawsuit claims the man, along with some accomplices, attacked 4 people, apparently unprovoked. The suit reads that the 4 people were brutally and severely beat. It happened backstage at Dickies Arena after the show that night. Apparently, Chris Brown and affiliated not only made physical contact with the victims, but also threw objects like chairs at them. While the whole situation is tragic and horrible, it's not unsurprising it happened. Chris Brown has a history of legal troubles dating back to 2009. The most famous incident being his behavior towards popular singer Rihanna. Popular country music artist Morgan Wallen threw a chair off a bar roof back in April and was promptly arrested for it. There were charges of misdemeanor and disorderly conduct, plus 3 charges of reckless endangerment, one for the danger the incident posed to the general public, and the other for 2 officers who were in the immediate vicinity. The arrest happened at 10:53 p.m. and the singer was released at 3:30 a.m. after a bond was set at $15,250. Wallen's attorney made a statement saying that the country star was cooperating fully with the authorities. He certainly didn't seem too worried. He had a pretty big smile in his mugshot. About a week after the arrest and release, Wallen released a statement sharing that he was making amends and wasn't proud of what he did and was taking accountability for it. At the time of this happening, the artist was on his One Night at a Time world tour, but the arrest did not ruin the tour. Sean Kingston, singer of the hit song Beautiful Girls, was arrested near Fort Irwin in late May. Page 6 reports that there had been a warrant out for his arrest for a bunch of fraud and theft charges. The singer's home was raided by numerous law enforcement agencies. This resulted in Kingston's mother being arrested on similar charges to her sons. Sean Kingston was not home when this happened, but when he was found by the authorities, he went without incident. The artist commented on the situation using his Instagram story, writing, "People love negative energy. I am good and so is my mother. My lawyers are handling everything as we speak." Allegedly, the company Verver Entertainment is connected to this whole thing. They sued Kingston back in February after he failed to pay for the purchase and installation of a TV. The company's attorney spoke to People, saying that they had been waiting on this raid for more than 2 months. They also alleged that Sean Kingston orchestrated a scheme to get expensive stuff without ever paying for it. This does seem to be a trend. Back in 2016, Kingston allegedly purchased jewelry he couldn't afford, resulting in him being sued for $300,000. Outer Banks star Austin North was arrested back in February after an incident with some staff at a medical facility. North released a statement about the situation, citing an anxiety attack as the reason for his actions. He further shared that he has little memory of his time in the hospital and that this attack was the worst he had ever experienced. The reason he ended up in the hospital in the first place was because he believed he was having a heart attack, so his friend drove him there. There were no substances involved. The actor shared that tests taken on the day prove this fact. A report from the Las Vegas Metropolitan PD revealed that North was arrested for coming into contact with 2 nurses and 1 other medical professional. After this incident went public, rumors quickly began to pop up online that the next season of Outer Banks was going to be delayed because of all this. Currently, no release date is set, but the official account for the show shared that filming had been completed. Nicki Minaj was arrested in June at the Amsterdam airport, resulting in the cancellation of her show in the city. The reason she was arrested was because she had allegedly had illegal substances with her. The singer ended up tweeting that the substances in question didn't belong to her, but her security. Eventually, she was made to just pay a fine. It's not known what the amount was, and be on her way. The Dutch authorities confirmed via their X account that a 41-year-old American woman had been released, and everyone knew it was Nicki. Unfortunately, the arrest did make it impossible to continue with the show planned for the city, so everyone's tickets were refunded. But what do you think? Let us know. Bye!